Okay. Wait, I need to full screen this. Okay. I haven't really. What the fuck? Wait. How do I full screen everything? Oh, I just exited the app. Okay, whatever. I haven't made a video in a long time. I'm sorry about that. But I was thinking, and I really, I have come up with questions and stuff to determine personality traits and what kind of people you are, and I find them very interesting. So, the first one that I have is you have to picture a scenario, right? So, um imagine you have a couch, right? And in the cracks of the couch there's pennies. You have a vacuum, you want to vacuum out the pennies, okay? You have a really, really powerful vacuum, like it's Ultra HD 3000 super vacuum, okay? So you get out the pennies because you need spare change for, like, I don't know, a burger, right? And because the vacuum is so strong, while you're sucking out the pennies in the tube, they turn into little gnomes. Okay? Now, you do not know anything about gnomes. They could be dangerous, they could be friendly, they could be just like confused or stupid, or they could be really smart and like creatures that could literally destroy the universe. All right? But they are trapped within this vacuum, right? They can't get out. Okay? They can't. All right? Um, you are faced with a decision. Either you let out the gnomes and you apologize for entrapping them within the vacuum, right? And there's a chance maybe they'll forgive you, maybe they're friendly, or maybe you don't know who they are. They could like rile up against you and murder you on the spot and then take over the planet, right? Sorry, Jesus. Um so that is one option. The second option is you leave them within the vacuum and you don't touch them, you don't do anything, you leave them in there, okay? Um which, you know, which avoids that risk of perhaps them destroying the world, but also they are left angry at you for trapping them within this box, okay? And the way that I feel about it is that every living creature, every living organism deserves like freedom, and they deserve the chance to be alive, to wander around, to frolic in the fields, to smell air, to smell flowers, to eat food. They do not deserve, they have done nothing, okay? They do not deserve to be entrapped within this contraption. Now this the now you could pick one of those options, or perhaps you could come up with one yourself. Like, there's unlimited options. Basically, what you would do in this situation determines a lot about who you are as a person and what goes on in your brain, okay? The neurological functions, the psychological functions, your choice, effect, consequences, all of that mixed together, right? Um, that are impacted by the environment that you first of all grew up in, and that you are in currently, and the developmental stages of your brain and the lessons you have learned throughout your life. All of them can be deciphered from this question, okay? um Now, I'm not going to tell you the answers. I know them inside my head, but I'm not going to tell you because I don't know what is your answer to that. However, the few people that I did ask that answered, one of them said that she would like throw it out, just throw out the vacuum. And that brought me to the conclusion, okay, so they avoid their problems and confrontation. The gnomes represent confrontation. Either you don't confront it at all, or you open and you come forth, okay? This is a test for your emotional maturity. Now, the next question. Hold on, I need to breathe. Okay, the next question. You have moved into a house, there's wallpaper, okay? You moved into the house, it has wallpaper, you hate the wallpaper, you rip down the wallpaper, okay? You're ripping down the wallpaper, you find inside the wall there is a box. Okay? There's like a little door to it. Everything is like walls, and then there's like a little metal door. what do you do? Now, if you don't open it, if you just seal it back up, then you can move on with your life. I don't care about you. Now, if you open it, what you find inside are tiny little aliens. Now, this is a very real situation, okay? Has happened to me before. And you find these little aliens, alien-like creatures. You don't really know what they are. What they look like is they kind of look like a mix of a bird sort of thing, but no feathers, okay? It has completely no hair on the skin. It's kind of like bird looking mixed with like a little bit of like an ostrich kind of bird, and no feathers, and it's mixed together with like a lizard sort of thing, and also it kind of resembles a human but not really, like it's on two legs, like a bird, but instead of like wings it's got like lizard sort of looking like, okay, you know what, doesn't matter. The point is, you see these little people, not people, you see these little creatures inside your wall. When you tore down the wallpaper, right, you found the box, you open it, you see that there's these little creatures inside. What do you do in that situation? Okay, thank you. Now your options are your options are either you interact with them, right? You somehow interact with them. You try to figure out, what the hell are you? What are you doing inside my walls? Okay. Number two, your choice. Instead of interacting with them, you are not interacting with them. You close the door back down and you put wallpaper all over. You're like, okay, whatever. I don't care. There's little creatures in my walls. Okay. Now, the third option is you exterminate them. Okay. You call up animal services or something. You're like, there's aliens in my house. Now, the thing is with that, if you told them there's aliens inside your walls, the animal protection services are probably going to hang up on you. I'm talking from experience. That is very rude. So what you do in that situation, you take some rat poison, you take some hairspray, you just start like trying to exterminate these guys, okay? But that does not work. Obviously, okay? They're not what works to exterminate them is you pour salt over them, okay? And then you just kind of like dump a bucket of paint into it, okay? Now, your fourth option is to call the police, which are also most likely going to ignore you. But if you try hard enough, they are going to come over and investigate. Now, that will result in the little creatures going off into a lab, which might result in some bad consequences on your side, as now they have a grudge against you. They hate you. They want you dead. Okay? You have destroyed their living situation. Okay? And the thing is, now, with these options, if you just ignore it, they'll just keep going on there. You don't know what they're doing. I don't know what they're doing. Nobody knows what they're doing, okay? If you try to ask them, like, hey, what are you doing? You find out they do not speak your language, okay? You have no idea what the fuck they're doing anyway. You try to exterminate them, you fail, okay? You keep trying to exterminate them, you succeed. However, one of them escapes. Because while you were doing all the extermination, they fled, okay? You only killed like a couple. You didn't kill all of them. Now you are the enemy. You are the enemy, and there's absolutely no way of redeeming yourself. Now, if you simply had them executed into a lab or something, not executed, but like sent off into a lab, then you can explain, like, I'm sorry, like, I didn't know that would happen, okay? Like, I understand that's my fault, like, I'm sorry. I didn't want you to be experimented on. I just didn't know what the fuck to do when there's little aliens in my house. Okay. We got that. Maybe they forgive you if they understand your language, but they don't. You don't understand them. However, if you try to murder them, they are after you for your life, okay? They hate you. Now, you don't know what kind of technology they're holding on to. You don't know anything, okay? So you are very fucking scared. Now, I think I've gotten off topic because I forgot completely what these questions were about, and I'm just gonna stop the recording because honestly, yeah.